Alright, so this is a keyboard that I got from my friend for his birthday. Happy birthday, Siren. Love you, man. There's Mac. That's my dog in the background, as you can see. So, one thing I did have a problem with was the packaging. When it came to my doorstep, everything was basically all mangled up. As you can see, the box is like dented on the sides and all. There was no foam to protect it. And I paid like $30 and it took 30 days, so $1 a day. But that's what you get when you order from this website. It did come with a nice cover, I guess, for the case, or for the keyboard in case you take a vacation. You want to put the dust cover on top. There's a cable. That's nice. It did come with a keycap and switch puller combo, so that's also nice as well. There's a little pamphlet. I don't know what it does really. I think it's for RGB and keybuds and all that stuff. Let's put that to the side. Now, one thing I was very disappointed with was that one switch had, I guess, accidentally fallen out. Let's put the keycaps away for a second. Now I'm trying to inspect the board to see if I could take the top casing off here, but I didn't see any screws, so I was trying to peel off the back a tiny bit, trying to see if there was anything for me to screw off, so I don't have to rip the top casing off. Here I found a wireless dongle, so that was nice. I didn't expect that. It kind of just popped out. It was like a nice little spring. So it was quite a surprise, but I was quite satisfied that you could make this keyboard wireless if you wanted to. Here's what it looks like up close. Keycap switch puller combo. And then the cable. Honestly, if you already have your own nice fancy cable, I would just use that besides this one. This is me searching through if I can get the top casing off. I tried to look through the little booklet that they handed me, but there was actually no instructions, which I was surprised about. To be fair, everything was already built besides the keycaps. You needed to do that on, or put that on by yourself. So, no instructions on installing or, you know, taking apart the keyboard. Makes sense. I saw that there were screws at the very top, and I thought if I could unscrew those, that would help me take off the top casing. I was wrong. This keyboard did say that everything was pre-lubed from the stabilizers to the switches. I typically don't really believe in pre-lubed switches, or like using the pre-lubed switches, unless it's from a very, very expensive brand or very expensive set of switches. Then I wouldn't really use it stock. I would normally take the time out of my day, and I would try to re-lube the switches because it just provides a better feel and a better sound. A good thing about this keyboard was that the switches did come out relatively easy. A lot of them kinda were tough to pull out, but I just needed to give it a little tiny bit more force. But so far everything else was really easy to pull out, and it made it really easy on my hands. One thing about this switch puller though is that it takes a lot of force in order to squeeze it together without the switches even making contact. So I had to switch to this switch puller, which gives much more leverage and it's much more easier to pull things out. It's just that the other one made it so I can reach into the actual keyboard and take out the switches. So I guess that's a tiny bit of a flaw, but it could just be my thumb and my pointer finger being too big in order to fit between the crevices. I took out all the stabilizers and then eventually got to the spacebar, and I realized, okay, the spacebar can't come out. So I thought I was just gonna take out the stabilizers, lube it up, maybe tape mod it, but I had to take out everything. I had to remove the top casing, have to remove the foam, and then I was I was finally able to get the spacebar stabilizer out. One thing I did notice while taking out the stabilizers is how lubed they were. They were extremely lubed. So that could be seen as a pro. I think it's a pro, but I would also try and re-lube them. But what I did is that I only lubed the wire. I didn't lube the housing or anything like that, because there was just so much lube already in there that I didn't think it was necessary for me to go back and re-lube it. There's me removing the screws, trying to see if I can get the top casing off. There was this one little sneaky screw that was kind of hidden underneath the top casing that I tried to screw off. I didn't know if I would break anything. Luckily, nothing broke. Still not budging even after I tried to pull it apart, and today was a very windy day. It did blow apart a few of the things. There you can see my reaction. I had to use my safety knife in order to keep the paper towel held down so it doesn't blow away again. I eventually looked it up, and it seems that you have to separate the top casing from the bottom half. Since it is plastic, it is flexible, so it makes sense. There's the foam. The foam actually was very nice quality. I'd say it matches the quality of the wooting. If you ever have a wooting keyboard and you took it apart, you'd notice that there was foam at the bottom. It's basically the same quality as that. It was very nice and fancy. I'd say it was pretty good. I'd probably use it for other keyboards as well. As you can see, there's two daughter cables. There's one for the wireless connection and one for the USB. There's the boy again. Hello, Mac. One thing that was tricky was getting off these screws. There was like in total 5 screws, I think, and one of them was just hidden directly in the center and I couldn't really figure out where it was. I didn't know if the foam was sticking to it or holding it together, but it felt really hard to take out. Eventually I did do this technique of twisting it, trying to see if I could find this single screw, and I found the one spot that wasn't rotating and I was like, aha, found you. So there, I was able to get rid of the final and last screw. One thing that was very, very nice about this keyboard, I am very satisfied about this, is that it came with its own like personal PE foam mod. So instead of having to buy or get packaging that already comes with PE foam, they already come out with like a pre-cut design that basically masks the same sound as the marbly other sounds that you would find in other keyboards. This is a very big plus. After removing the PCB from the top plate, I was able to get the spacebar stabilizer out. As you can see, there was quite a lot of lube. On the stabilizer itself, there was not that much, but inside the housing, there was so much. I tried to do the Holy mod with band-aids, and the amount of lube was just so overwhelming that I couldn't even slide it in properly. it just wouldn't stick properly. It would just keep on sliding apart. I'm going to relube the wire, but I'm gonna try to minimize relubing the little green bits. There's me wiping down the excess lube. I don't want to contaminate my own lube with it. I use Cartox 205G0. I think that is the best lube. Unless you have dielectric grease, then maybe you should use that. But it's all personal preference. There's me trying to do the holy mod, and you can see it just kind of keeps on slipping. It wouldn't stick to the actual housing. Around this point, I gave up. I tried, right here, I tried showing you guys what it looked like when I was lubing it, and then I realized my thumb looked weird. So I readjusted it. There you go. You're welcome, guys, in case it disturbed you. Hello, boy. There's a little bit of something on his eye. I had to wipe it off. Sure. Ah! Did I scare you? I didn't mean to. I'm kidding. I did. I'm sorry if you got jump scared. But you're welcome though. Had to wake you up in case you were falling asleep. For the stabilizers, I didn't use that much lube because I already realized how much lube there was inside of the housing. So minimizing the amount of lube I would use instead of just dumping it in and calling it a day. I try to go as evenly as I can around it with as minimal lube as I could. Here we go. For the Tempest tape mod, I typically do 3 layers. All my other keyboards I've done 3 layers. I've done it on my Wooting, I've done it on my Lego keyboard, my girlfriend's keyboard, and yeah, it's just, I think 3 layers is typically the best. Other keyboard creators would also say so, but it's all personal preference, as I said. You don't need to do 3 layers. It's kind of pushing it either way. 2 layers is honestly maybe the max that you should be going for. With the added tape, it didn't really fit in snug as it did when I first took it out, but I thought that maybe if I screwed it down, then it would be more compressed and it would actually fit more tightly. At this point, I realized the screws did start working, and I didn't need to keep on pushing it down. I would just need to put in the screws, and then I'd have to tighten it from there in order to make it fit snug. Now it's time for putting the switches back on. A good thing about this PCB is that the switches are south facing. So if you really wanted to use GMK keycaps, it would sound much more better than if it was north facing. This time I tried to make sure that none of the switches were falling out, unlike it did when it delivered. Alright, now here's the coffee keycaps. It's like Coffee Cat. So my friend chose this keycap set because he said it matched the black color of the keyboard much more better, and I agree with that, but it's all personal preference again. I opened the keycap set upside down by accident, and then I had to quickly maneuver it so it wouldn't fall all out. Now, this keycap set is so cute. I absolutely love this keycap set. It might be one of my favorite ones. Compared to the other two keyboards you see up there, this one is definitely the most flashy, the most stylish. It's not minimalistic, but I like it a lot. Whoa. As you can see from the camera audio, the spacebar was actually quite a surprise to hear. Without the Holy mod and without extra lube, it did sound very, very good. Here's the last 4 keys. Here's the final product. Unfortunately, it was a very, very windy and cold day, and the wind just had to pick up as I was trying to do my typing test. But it's fine, because we'll have another typing test in an isolated space. Now I'll leave you to it.